lesson by talking about timelines. When I say the word timeline, what does that make you think about?
Like, the parts of history was in Civil War that was like sometime in the 1900s, and all the other wars after that were more later than that.
Okay. Coco.
Well, in Karen's class, we had timeline 5. So that's what I think of. It goes all the way from like the first bacteria all the way to humans.
Okay, so
That's what I think of.
you think about the timeline of life. Nina.
When I hear the word timeline, I think about historical events.
Okay. Marvin.
When I think of the word timeline, I think about about the start to the finish of the timeline to the start of whatever was started and then the finish.
Okay, so a start and a finish. Ayana.
When I hear timeline, I think it's a line of time that's like 1900 through 2000. That's 100 years. That's that's a named time.
So we've determined that a timeline has a start and a finish, and it is a line with, what are these called? 1800, 1900 years. What's another word?
A decade.
Nina?
Centuries.
That, yes. What's today's date? So a timeline has a start and a finish, and it is a series of dates or events that go in order. Jasmine.
Can a timeline also be decades?
A timeline can be put in decades. What other sections can we break a timeline up into?
Milliseconds.
You could have a time of milliseconds. That would be a pretty quick timeline, Coleman. Logan.
Months.
Months. You can have a timeline of months.
You could have a timeline of years.
Years.
You can have the timeline of days.
Days.
Eons.
Eons.
Hours.
Hours.
Seconds.
Seconds.
Well, is there such thing as milliseconds?
I don't know about that. I've never heard that.
Probably not.
You could have a timeline of minutes.
Minutes. When we're talking about timelines of long periods of time, like when we did our timeline of life, we had the prehistoric, starts with the era. We can do timelines in eras. And I'm going to write that word down. It's an interesting looking word. Era. So today we're going to talk about United States history, and this is something that 5th graders do. And it's important for us to understand our history as a country. Why do you think it's important for us to understand our history as a country?
So, we know about the events that happened.
Yeah, we know about events.
So we don't get mindless of what happened, because people can lose memory of what happened. So they're like, oh, I don't know what happened to us 5 years ago. So it's really great to have those memories to remember what happened, who your relative was in that time, something like that.
Are all events that have happened in U.S. history positive events?
No.
Some of them could be negative, right? So when we learn about the events, we learn about the positive and we learn about the negative. And what does that help us do for moving into our future?
Keep us from making bad decisions.
It might keep us from making bad decisions. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a timeline here that I'm going to put together for your reference, and we're going to hang it up in our classroom. And it starts with Era 1, 3 worlds meet, beginnings to 1820. Era 2, colonization and settlement. Era 3, revolution, and the new nation. These are big topics, so they go at the top. There are headings. Era 4, expansion and reform. Era 5, civil war and reconstruction. Era 6, development of the industrial U.S. Don't worry about knowing what these mean. I'm just reading them to you. We're going to learn about them as we go. These are big, big topics. Era 7, emergence of modern America. Era 8, Great Depression and World War II. Era 9, post-war United States. Era 10, contemporary United States. So on this timeline, does it end? Not really.
Not really.
Because we keep going, right? We're still living in the United States and there's still big events that are happening. So we're going to work together to build this timeline. And here's some bigger headings for us. Do any of these headings, do you know any of the words that I said? Do any of them stand out to you that you already know about?
Civil War, Great Depression, World War I. Yeah.
Okay.
I know about the colonization
Okay.
I know about the Civil War because my ancestors fought both sides.
Right. So how are we going to get more information about this? Coco? We're going to research it. And I am going to let you choose the events. Within all of these big ideas, there's lots of little events. And each one of these pieces of paper is a little event. So I'm going to put them in a tray on the shelf. And you're going to be able to come over and choose. Let's see, I want to choose. I'm going to choose Industrial Revolution. First Industrial Revolution. I'm going to take this paper. I'm going to put my name on it. And then tell me something you see on this piece of paper. Samuel.
Summary.
A summary. What's a summary?
Like kind of like a shorter version of the thing that you're doing.
Right, a shorter version. What else do you see, Ayana?
Illustration.
And what does illustration mean?
A picture of the event.
A picture of the event. How are you going to get this picture? It's an illustration. Devin?
Draw it.
You're going to draw it. Yeah. Key events. What does that mean? Marvin?
It means like some special events that happen.
Special events, big things that happen to help you draw your summary. So in our classroom, we have this new book that I just got called the Geography Encyclopedia. This isn't specific to U.S. history, but it does have some really great maps in it. So if you're looking for information and it talks about a place, you can look in this book to see if it's got more information for you. This one is Encyclopedia of World History, which is the whole entire world. But you might be able to look back in the back on some of the timelines and see where our United States history fits in. We also have, what other books do we have in our classroom? Jasmine?
More encyclopedia.
We have encyclopedias, correct.
I have one question. Are we going to use the internet for research as well?
We're not going to use the internet for research for this because I think we have plenty of resources in the classroom. We have encyclopedias and we have this little box. And this little box has an amazing amount of information in it. So I chose the first Industrial Revolution. I'm going to open the box. Wow. got a lot of topics in here. America's at war, famous places, notable people, discoveries, life in America, important events, arts and entertainment, a year to remember. So I don't know, it might be an important event. So I'm going to take the whole stack out and I'm going to look at the dates, 1750 to 1850. The dates on all of these events are right here on the card. So you can just go through and look. No, I'm looking for oh, here's one. Before 1750. And they're color coded, so it's really easy to go through and find, oh, here's before 1750. 1750 to 1850. Ooh, here's 1800 to 1849. And you can look in other categories too in this box. There's lots of categories.
Tanya, is this all going to be AG?
It is all AG, Marvin. So I could look at these cards and read them and see if there's anything that tells me about the Industrial Revolution that I want to contribute to my poster. Any questions on how this is going to work? Coco.
So the work is where you're going to go and choose one of those papers. Okay, and what category is it?
This would go under cultural studies in our work plan.
And also, is there like a certain way we turn it in?
When you turn it in, I'm going to have a basket right next to the basket of these papers. There's going to be two baskets. There's going to be a take basket and a turn-in basket. You turn it in, and there's lots. If you're curious and you want to do another one, go ahead and do another one. It's great research. Ayana.
With those pieces of paper, can you do the same what other people do, or do you have to choose different ones?
There's only one of each event, so it's your own individual work. Jasmine.
Is there a due date for that?
There's not a due date. We're going to work on building this timeline till the end of the year. So, but I would like you to contribute. So if you haven't worked on it this week, if you don't get a chance, you'll need to work on it next week.
So, is it okay if is it not okay if like someone's, two friends, are going, one getting a pencil, one already has their pencil, and then one wants something and someone's gonna go grab it, and the other friend saves it for them? That's not okay, right? Like saving a work.
Correct. You
Okay,
need to be
because I've seen some
responsible
people
for
do that.
getting your own work, and we're going to be respectful and kind to our peers as we're choosing. So if somebody's there and they're choosing, we're going to give them a respectful distance before we go and choose our own. Nina.
Can I say it this is
Absolutely.
Well, so 2 years into the war, that's when Abraham Lincoln actually announced that it was against slavery. And I thought that was really interesting because originally it wasn't even related to slavery at all, and then after 2 years, that's when
That is a great detail. Yes, thanks, Nina. Marvin.
Oh yeah. Do you have to do like one each day or something like that?
I think it's going to take longer than 1 day to complete because you might do one a day, but I think if you made your goal of doing one a week, that would be helpful. If everybody did one a week, we'd be done by the end of the year. We'd be able to build our full timeline. All right? Coco?
this is a little bit off topic, but when is the next school year?
June.
I think
June
it's
12th. June 12th.
Oh,
Ayana.
I'm wondering that, do we still have to get our 2 math, 2 language before we can work on that? Or can we do a language and a math and work on that?
I would like, you could do a language and a math and then work on this for a while.
Okay, 'cause that
Devin.
would be-